Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Rohr Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Lara Sturm.
Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast. I am one of your hosts, Lara Sturm.
And I'm Josh Rohr. Welcome to episode 106. One little update. The Collegiate Nationals qualifying totals have been updated. So if you are planning to compete at Collegiate Nationals in 2023, definitely look at that because they have changed. So plan accordingly.
There you go.
We're recording early in the morning. So
yeah, it's harder than normal.
Yeah. It's not good normally, but added little bonus. So round one results of the voting. We had three matchups. Number one was Andrew Cargill against myself. I started out with a pretty good lead and finished by getting my ass kicked. So Andrew moves on to round two, 29-13. Congratulations, Andrew, even though I disagree with the majority of your explanations because they were one word and very non-descriptive, and I'm not bitter at all.
No, not at all. No. In the matchup between Wade Johson and Amber Riley, Wade Johson came out on top with 11 votes versus 7. Boy, lots of voting there.
Yeah. And our last matchup was Michelle Carlascio against Gary Jacobs, and Michelle moves on 14-10. So that brings us to our round two matchups, the Sweet 16. So basically those first three matchups were essentially the wild card spots to get into the actual tournament. So yours truly doesn't even get into the actual tournament, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Not even surprising though.
Yeah.
So we should probably mention what we're voting on, because I don't think we've said that. So this was the top 5. Gosh, which list are we even on? I can't remember now.
What is it, Lara? I'm not going to tell you. You
started it. It's the top 5 TV intro songs.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Which was actually a hard list to come up with, but we had some really good lists.
Yeah, we did.
So in round 2, we've got Eric Corderio versus Andrew Cargill. So we'll see what happens there.
Amy Pancake versus Wade Johson.
Ooh. Stacie Metcalfe versus Michelle Carlasio.
Don Dotson versus Cameron Barrilleaux.
It's like we planned this like alternating thing. Chris Peterson versus Bonica Brown.
Lara Sturm. Lara
Strum.
Lara Strum versus Amy Hutchison.
Cindi Jaeger versus Kenia Calderon.
Kenia? Where's the K?
Kenia. I tried to roll with it. Like I butchered it and I knew it. I just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I had to bring it up.
Kenia?
I don't know if it's Kenia or Kenia.
I'm sorry.
Calderon. And then the last one is Wesley Toler versus Joe House. So that'll be fun. And basically what the tournament, the winner of the tournament does get a $50 gift certificate to 110%. So voting will be on Saturday. What is the date? Saturday, the 10th? Yeah, Saturday, the 10th. I think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So check out the Instagram page, PL Ballads Podcast, and we'll have the voting in the stories. Vote for your favorite lists of those matchups, and the winners of those will move on to the Elite 8.
Ooh, Elite 8. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the powerlifting situation. So here you go, Josh. Picture this. You're training at the gym by yourself. You have your music playing, getting hyped for your last few warm-up squats and heavy single in walks. Boy, I can't speak today.
I don't even know what you're saying.
You're getting hyped. You get your last few warm-up squats. Then you're going to get up to that heavy squat single. Grr. You're in that moment. But then in walks 3 people. One of them changes the music, and then all 3 proceed to hop on the ellipticals. What do you do?
I lose my mind. I don't know. I probably go change it back and don't say anything to them and just wait for them to go change it again and then just like freak out on them. So that's what I would do. Like back when I was like competing, right? Like, is that the right thing to do? Probably not. Maybe it is. I don't know. This is this is a very interesting one because like there's a part of me that says like, you know, the majority should get to play what they want, like if they all agree, but you were there first. And let's be honest, if you're doing cardio, like you're not like really needing the hype. I mean, I guess then again, I'm thinking about if I'm doing cardio, I need all the hype I can get to do cardio. But I don't know. I think I just go turn it back right away, probably. And just say, hey, I was listening to that. And then if they give you fuss about it, be like, hey, look, I'm getting ready to do my heaviest squat single. Like, this is a really big workout for me. You know, once I'm done with that, then can you guys just let me get through that? I'll be done in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I would probably say, hey, excuse me, that was the music I had on because I was getting hyped to do something heavy. And ask them to spot you.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, I'll just walk over and unplug all 3 of their ellipticals and see what happens.
Yeah, there you go. That's not passive aggressive at all.
No, definitely not.
It's fine.
Puncture their tires, you know, things like that.
Yeah, totally. Call them lame because they're on ellipticals. Every time I've been on an elliptical, my feet fall asleep. Like
Really?
That can't be natural. It's not normal.
Every time I've been on an elliptical, I've only been on an elliptical a few times. I hated myself.
I had a shirt one time that had a picture of somebody on elliptical on it. And then underneath it said fail. And then on the back had a picture of somebody with a barbell doing a clean and jerk. And I walked up to a countertop one time to return something. And the lady saw my shirt with the elliptical, but couldn't see the fail part and was like, oh, I love the elliptical. Like,
did you like pull it up where it says fail?
No, I just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll just process my return with you and covered that part of my shirt.
I can no longer speak to you would have been my response.
I've lost respect. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the new lifter tip. Progress or lack of progress are often the result of the individual's effort and discipline. So before making drastic changes to your program and coach, look in the mirror and assess your effort and discipline. Agree or disagree, Josh?
Agree. And I guess one thing I want to say, this was actually 2 weeks ago. And when I posted it 2 weeks ago, I left one of the S's off of assess. So it said asses and nobody caught it except my wife. So, you know,
wow.
Either that means one of two things. That means not a lot of people look at that on Instagram, or not a lot of lifters know how to spell assess, myself included. So
apparently, yeah.
Anyway, back to the actual. So, yeah, agree. Like, I think that's one thing. A lot of lifters, they're always looking for that magic program to get them really strong, really fast. And at the end of the day, you still got to work hard. So if you're just going through the motions, like you're going to have, you know, very minimal progress compared to what you could do. And at the same time, it's, you know, yeah, the coach needs to try to get you to push yourself, but at the same time, like, you got to look in the mirror, because nobody at the end of the day can tell exactly how hard you're pushing yourself. So I think, you know, sometimes just looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself, like, look, I'm really not putting in the effort. Like, I can't blame other people for me not progressing right now.
Right. Well, and I think something that happens that probably isn't talked about enough is the novice effect. So when you're brand new to lifting and you're like doing something regular and you have discipline, and especially when you're new to this sport, like, you're going to make a lot of gains really quick. And then at some point, those gains are going to kind of slow down.
Yep.
And then the rubber hits the road, right? It gets a little bit real, and you're trying to add like 2.5 kilos to every lift. I mean, it can be fairly frustrating.
Yeah. And I think, you know, to that, yeah, when you're newer like that, yeah, the newbie gains, like, no matter what kind of, I wouldn't say no matter what kind of effort you put in, you still got to put in effort, but like, you could really be like half-assing it and still make pretty good progress. And then, you know, that dries up and, okay, well, I'll work a little bit harder and I'm still not making progress, but in the big scheme, you're still not working that hard. Sometimes that happens. And yeah, I think it's just, you know, and sometimes you need to talk with other people and be like, hey, like, you know, be honest, like, am I working hard? Am I not? Because sometimes people just don't even know. I mean, people that have never worked out before, giving 50% effort of what, other lifters are doing, that's still 50% more effort towards working out than they've ever done. So they think they're really working hard. And sometimes it's just, being honest and being able to quantify, what kind of effort you're putting in towards that. So,
right.
Yeah.
And this week we actually have 2 new lifter tips. Craziness. So our other new lifting tip is practice calming down and relaxing. Many new lifters get overexcited for the entire duration of the competition. This is not necessarily bad while under the bar, but the problem comes when there's no off switch when under the bar. This can lead to extreme fatigue before the end of the meet. Agree or disagree?
Yep. I see this a lot too. Not even just with newer lifters, like people that just get so hyped up and stay hyped the entire meet. And, it's a little bit easier to get away with that with the meets that are, just 2 flights that run really fast. But when you're in a meet with 3 full flights and you got a, 30 to 45 minute break in between each lift, before you start warming up, and you're still hyped, like, you're going to be drained by the time, definitely by the time deadlift rolls around, maybe even by bench. So I think it's a really good idea just to practice, like, yes, getting hyped up and excited when you're actually lifting is fine. But when you're on one of those breaks, or even right after an attempt, you got another, sometimes 13, 14 minutes before your second squat after your first, you need to bring it down a little bit. So, I don't know if you ever did this or not, but we always, try to get people to have like calming songs on their playlist at the meet, just so that they can, listen to whatever their hype is going up to lift, and then immediately turn on like, Dixie Chicks or something and start calming down.
Dixie Chicks will calm you down.
Huh? Yeah. Dixie Chicks is actually on my lifting playlist, so it's not even my calm music. I don't know why I said that, but it's the point I'm trying to
calm
make.
You down. And I think this is a phenomenon that I have. Like, I think every time I would go to a meet and lift, I would get so hyped up for pretty much the entire meet that right after the meet, like the next day, I would be sick. Like, my body could not handle all that stress hormone for the whole day. And then the next day, every single time, I'd get sick.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's being hyped up all day, or if that's like the whole training cycle, like you're on such high alert and high priority, like your body just like, it's almost in fight or flight, like for your whole 12-week training block. And then as soon as the meet's over, you're like, oh, it's off, all that weight's off my shoulders. And then your body's like, okay, well, now's a good time to.
Right. Yeah. It just happened every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be hard to kind of bring it down, especially during a meet. Boy.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, that's why we bring it up too. Cause it's a hard thing to do, especially, even practicing it in the gym is one thing, because, you're kind of in your own environment, and you can control that a little more at a meet. Like, there's people around, you can't control everybody else getting super hyped all the time. And just be, running around like crazy. And sometimes that energy just kind of rubs off on you. So, practice it and, have a strategy to calm down. And, maybe you bring those little airplane, eye shutters or whatever that block everybody out. And you can just sit in the corner for 10 minutes and put those on and, practice deep breathing or something to calm down. And I don't know, I've never seen anybody do that, but that just came to me. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I think I've actually seen like Jen Thompson, like lay down, put her feet up and shut her eyes. I'm like, and I'm not a good napper, first of all. And I think I would have a hard time like closing my eyes just because I'd be so hyped up and like thinking that, oh, well, something's going to happen and I'm going to have to get up and like, hit a warm up set like right now.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to kind of let go.
I'm a great napper. So I used to always shut my eyes like between squat and bench or bench and deadlift. And after weigh-ins too, I'd eat and just take a short nap. And
wow.
Yeah.
Nope.
I always set an alarm though, except for once. But I was lucky.
Yeah.
So
except for once.
Yeah. But cool. Well, I think that's it.
That's really it. So when's round 2 voting is Saturday, right?
Saturday the 10th. it'll get posted sometime during the day. You have 24 hours to vote on that. But yeah, definitely look at everybody's lists and vote. Vote. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Please vote based on the list, not on the person or the whatever. Because I'm going back to my list. Like, I feel like I should have won in round one, and it hurts me. But you know what though? There were a lot of people that voted for Andrew against me that were actually lifters of mine. I'm not going to name any names, but I did see who voted for who. And I got to say, not a fan.
Wow. So now their programming will involve some really evil accessory movements.
Yeah. Whatever. So, no, I think it's cool though. Just definitely check it out. Look at the list, vote, and the winner does get a $50 gift card from 110%. So we're gonna have more of these tournaments down the road and stuff as well. But for now, this is the big grand prize, which is a good one. I'm actually a little bummed that I'm not even in the running anymore, but that's all right. I'll just buy stuff. It's all right.
Nice.
Anyway.
All right.
Well, so round two voting. Yep. Round two voting Saturday. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram or send us a direct message if you have any questions, comments, concerns at PL Ballads Podcast on Instagram, and shoot us an email, plballadspodcast@gmail.com. If you're interested in powerlifting coaching or online programming, things like that, definitely check out teamrohr.com and Instagram at Team Rohr. And we will see you guys next week. Or 2 weeks. What are we doing now? Are we doing every 2 weeks? Or are we going to do every week?
We talked about it. We hadn't decided. So,
all right. We may or may not be back next week.
We may go to every other week.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll let you know.
Yep.
You'll know when.
You'll know when.
We're not there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's end this shit show today.
Nice. All right. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.